Prediction is up on Twitch, and we do indeed have TopRamen in the bottom right. He is our Snow Terran. And Kenoli in the top left is our Pumpkin Zerg. Stockade on the way. This is, again, pre-Agrolith nerf, but I don't know that the early game was so significant. That game looked surprisingly like Newt had good movement with his army, just trying to mass up a lot of Mavericks. And then even when he saw the Calculisks with his, I think, second attack, you can call it, which had potential to do a lot of damage, but his army movement wasn't great from his forward positioning into his aggressive push into the natural. Like, there's a lot of things that go into that, but when you see the calcs and you start massing up, Cyprians and Valkyries in response, well, massing is a strong word. He made 7 Cyprians. He made 2-3 Valks. Good ideas all around, but he didn't pre-position them, and he definitely didn't pre-position them in the context of like, oh, he could fly into my main. Made static defense in the natural and a little bit like one watchdog in the mineral line of the main base, but you definitely want that more on the extremity, I think. That's right, the Agrolith now requires a Quasith pool before you can make it. So, pretty basic, pretty bare bones, pretty small. People are still using it from what I've been told, but I haven't seen too many modern, like, freshly played games yet. Ramen seeing what's going on. Now, Ramen, I haven't seen too many games of him in the modern era either. I still have to cast his ZVTs versus Newt if we get to it. It's before the Agrolith, so I guess more classical style. Pretty interesting to see some of this stuff go on, though. Larvos kidding. Pool will finish up, and there comes the Agrolith. What will I build next? I do feel like this is dangerous, but maybe not versus Bio. Versus Mech Terran, Cyclops can just kill all of these in one go if there's like a block of them because of the splash damage. Ramen gonna go ahead and grab his expansion pretty soon. Dog says he's got a whole set of TVZ versus Ramen where he went fast Agrolith. Can you give me your not spoiler idea of the games? Do you think they show whether Agrolith is a problem or not? Do you think they were good games and should make a good cast? Any impressions there? You let me know. The Agrolith is going to be leading the charge here, which is really funny to me. And it looks like Ramen's preemptively going to try to bypass that army and go straight for the main base, which I actually think there's a real chance that he can do that. I mean, remember, back at home, he's got more Maverick production. He can see what he can do there. He's got 2 clerics with him, stimming right past. He does need to worry about this counter push, though. Like, Quas are pretty deadly, but maybe he can just mind the ramp. Oh no, Ramen! Ramen, what are you doing, Ramen? No, just attack, Ramen. There's nothing here, Ramen. Oh, Ramen! No! All right, well, he's going to try to boost his armor a little bit. Not that it'll matter versus the 1 armor pen on the Quas. Kind of coming in at a discombobulated attack. I guess he just wants to bisect the army. This doesn't really feel like it's worth it. Kenoli's floating a ridiculous amount of money, but if he wasn't, then this would just be a successful, like, I could have died there, but instead I made you move your army all the way back across the map. So, yeah, Vilius, if you weren't aware already, Kenoli is kind of legendary for not having any of his money spent ever. So, I mean, his APM tells a story, right? So there it is, fast calc here. Gonna go straight after the Lyrilisks. I think this is before Lyrilusk, the Calcure Lake got an increase of 100 Vespene, which actually, the 100 Vespene that it takes to make the Agrolith is kind of in the same boat, right? It's like, hot damn, how am I gonna afford all that? The 1 Maverick up the ramp makes a lot of sense. It could have given him a win earlier, by the way, but Nah, better late than never. And now he's gonna abandon it. Leaving a couple Mavs there from the rally. Haha, classic Kenoli. What's up, Matron? All right, it looks like we might be going for a mech switch. You can't build there. There's a bush. Oh, you can build there. Is the bush just a sprite? What the fuck is it then? I'm so confused by that bush. Well, he got his agrolith back home, so I guess he can make the hatch free of charge. 4 Cyprians being made. Gonna need to micro that Maverick. Oh. They were scared of him. It's deadly. It's a bonsai? Oh, okay. Weeb's out! Definitely remove the bush now. What's up, AG Tangra? Hey, man, if you're really looking for those videos, well, you can find them on the channel. They're up. They've been up for 2 days now. Can you believe that? But also, we need to stack them fat stacks. You know how it is. Cow kits are so good against bio. One of my games, Grass, he was down 20 workers, but just doom dropped them into my base. Do you talking about the Lyralisk? This guy? Well, Green Eggs, I'm also uploading VODs that I've cut into individual matches. So people might not be getting notifications for those anymore. I don't know, but that is a thing I've been doing. I released one at 8:30 yesterday. It was Boneth versus Ziki. And at 8:30 in the morning Eastern time today, I released them again. Another one again. It was Neblime Jack. And we've got videos coming every single day until Sunday, when I'll do another round and get them every single day again. So, such is the way of things. Couple madrigals coming out. I think that's pretty good insurance against the Calculisks, actually. I didn't recognize he had gone for the Palladium add-on. Add a couple of anti-air. Very good macro from Ramen, as expected. Vulture dives in and sees the complexion of the army. Scouts a couple of calcs. So I think at this point, with Ramen scouting the army at home, he should feel somewhat free to develop his economy as he wants to, his tech as he wants to, or, of course, go out on the offensive. But it looks like right now he's going to play a little bit more on the defensive. The ball is in Kenoli's court, apparently. I don't always like when players do this versus Kenoli. I have this sneaking suspicion that Kenoli will just greed and then run people over with a surprise attack or whatever. Like, he's got good strategy. He doesn't necessarily drill out the mechanics side of the game, right? All right, big attack going to come in here pretty soon. The Madrigal's ready to shoot down those Calculisks if they dare to strike near. Although they could probably benefit from being healed by the Clerics. It looks like that's not going to happen. The Mavericks are stimming, but really, really good way to neutralize the Cyprian splash damage there by spreading. Maybe those Madrigals should have been deployed instead. Help out versus the ground army that ended up being way more consequential. That fight was really, really good for neutralizing line trace damage, so the Calculisks didn't get much done, but the Cyprians didn't either. And the Madrigals were busy trying to deal with that as Ramen was transitioning into some treasuries. But does he even have the quarry add-on? No, he's only going to build it now. And he's going to hope that he can hold out. The Watchdogs should actually stop those minimal amounts of calcs from doing much. And the Deploy Madrigal really cleaning up versus the ground now. You can see that. Yeah, that's pretty solid on the hold. He's now going to stim after these small numbers of units. Lobotomy Mine slowing down the Quas. Pretty inconsequential to kill Quas themselves, but if they used to be Lyralisks, it's pretty consequential. Oh, this is also before Lyralisks themselves received a price hike a little bit, so. This is actually free a lot of stuff from a few days back. So the workers got saved, and we were getting a lot of Taluses out. Not sure I like that versus the... You know, when you're a Talus and you're entering into airspace over a battle that's had a lot of Lyralisks in it, you must be really concerned. Like, what about their orbital spores? A lot of Nathacors just finished up, and Kenoli still has a ridiculous amount of afloat. No third base coming for him just yet. Meanwhile, Treasury has landed, and we're starting to get it saturated over there as well. The Cestus behind the mineral line, as I think Villius pointed out, that is some funny stuff. I haven't seen that before. Boost the armor of the Masons, you know? But also of your Watchdogs. Kind of good. Now, this many this many air units, I actually would be a little bit more concerned about the Madrigals. Oh no, they're going to face tank. Oh no, Ramen. Oh, he just walked right up there. Totally totally avoidable death. And just lost 3 Madrigals. Like, those are tech units, guys. Those are technical units that you want to... You know, you can get a lot of them, but ideally you keep the ones that you have alive or get something out of them. So now he's got to build his Estus on the front. This is probably very familiar to Ramen. He's lost many a game to Swarmlord on this map. And a lot of the times he was trying Cestus at the front to see if he could keep himself alive. Well, with 16 Lyrilisks hunting down towards 3 o'clock, they're not going to find anything. The third base is up for all of our players here. Both of them, all 2. More Madrigals on the way to replace the ones that have been lost. The Rocket's trying to frontal tank a little bit. Phalanxes shoo them away. Many more calcs where that came from. Honestly, this is the weaker of the 2 positions, but we have no air units to scout. Not even a lifted treasury or anything of the sort, which I feel like would be an underrated addition here. We do have a star pad making Trojans, so it looks like we will see some drops. A stimmed Maverick tries to run up the ramp. The more of them just looking for map control, seeing what's going on here. Looks like he's actually bisecting some of these Lyrilisks off to the side, so those are likely to die. Certainly getting peppered on the way out. Meanwhile, this army has gone on down, and, well, we have some Madrigals, so you still got to be careful here. The clump up is going to do so much splash damage. Arakan's just soaking up some of the damage of the Calculusks. They do reduce it, actually. So the Calculusks here are not really the most cost-efficient. They will kill some Masons, though. Ramen is still ahead in terms of worker count. I was about to say he could lose every single worker here and still be ahead in terms of worker count. 3 more Madrigals finishing just in time to punish the 16 calcs that are still loose inside the base. Trojan could get sniped out. Now we're going to see a little bit of a deficit, but no, instead he's just going to try to leave it with as many as he can. Yeah, that's a pretty crushing loss of those units, and we have 6 Harakans earmarked for, I think, the third base here. They'll kill Ahmed eventually. There you go. Got a little help. So Ramen can go out on the map now. He's kind of relieved the pressure. The Lyrilisks alone aren't going to be able to do enough. There's a lot more money where Kenoli, could have been spending and investing on more units. Now he's got a horde of Lyra. Is that going to be enough for him, though? I'd posit that the answer could very well be yes, but we do need to see what Ramen wants to do with his army on the map. If he deploys the Phalanxes and keeps them alive long enough. Oh, I see. That's kind of cute. If he dropped like 2 Mavs with this, he could have maybe killed that. Didn't really go after the workers, but he did force a big transfer down, it looks like. Trojan doesn't get out, unfortunately. Easier to do your drops if that gal stays alive. The drop onto the natural as the third base gets attacked is pretty interesting. The Lyrilisks are all kind of clouded up over there on the side. So the fact that Ramen is in this position could be really good. But once again, familiar sight. He actually deploys as the first attacks are already coming in. Where are his Phalanxes focused on? Looks like the Lyrilisks, but is it going to be enough? This flank is completely fine. But it's really where all the Lyrilisks are coming in from that's the big problem. And his mech army is just going to be toast after the bio falls. That does feel like a really big wipe. He doesn't even go after the natural. He unloaded in the main base. I don't know if he was trying to go after the Zorkas before it finished or what, but it has finished. He never reset his third base. Instead, he expanded somewhere else. And, well, I think we might be seeing Kenoli winning again, honestly. The onslaught of Lyrilisks. It is unending. And Kenoli still has more money in the bank. So, maybe Ramen got a little too fancy. Radical idea. Unnerf the Madrigal. I don't know. I feel like what Kenoli did in this stage of the game is probably pretty fine, but the Big concern I would have is like, so we haven't really seen Calculusks too much since Kenoli's games recently. He started to use them a little bit more. And Ramen's got the Madrigals, and he's trying to do stuff with his Hurricanes, and they are getting shredded. But they, you know, denied some mining, and they've... The problem is you could shut down Kenoli's base now, kill every worker, and he still has so much money, it doesn't matter. But I'm trying to think, like, 7 Shamans being made. What the hell? That's 700 of each resource. More treasuries. I agree, Vilius. Kenoli should go tier 2. But will he? I think he's making a statement. He's owning top Terran players with tier 1 only. Oh, he does force a cancel, and the kills the Drolith as well. It's not too bad. Ramen trying a different approach. Yeah, unfortunately he doesn't have enough Madrigals to make this matter. The Shaman count is wild, but I don't think it's going to quite be enough. GG is going to be called as the oppressive horde of Kenoli Zerg takes another victim, exacts its revenge. All those times that Ramen smashed Kenoli, and now the shoe is on the other foot.